Shalom. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, from which I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the house of David, doing this work in all righteousness, truth, and sincerity. And I want to say Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 12, and it reads, "And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood." Now this is talking about the nuclear warheads. It's talking about the destruction coming from the missiles. Verse 13, "And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth the untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind." So, and again, that's speaking about the destruction. Verse 14, "And the heaven departed as a scroll when it's rolled together." Now it's talking about the mushroom clouds, from the missiles. It says that every mountain and island will move out of their places. Yeah, because of the great destruction. Verse 15, and it says, "And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains." See that? So that's the elites, going into the bunkers, along with other men, because when the elites, go into their bunkers, their space stations, or their mountain retreats, wherever they go, the underground, tunnels, going into their submarines, under the water, wherever they may go, they're going to have, servants. They're going to have, men there working for them, mechanics, and, just whatever men they may need, to deal with, whatever, they have, because, Esau believes that, they're going to keep going. They believe that they're going to get their blessing that was really never there. It was never theirs, but they believe that they're going to create a false blessing, a pseudo blessing, and they believe that their houses shall continue forever, so that they're going to take along with that, when they go into these retreats, these bunkers and so forth, they're going to take along men to serve them, men to take on the deeds of everyday life. Verse 16, "And said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb," Yahweh Shai, because the Lord's coming with great destruction, so that they're going to try to hide themselves again, in their bunkers, their mountain retreats, in their underwater submarines, wherever, they may have some type of place to go and hide, that's where they're going to go. Verse 17, it says, "For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?" And the only ones that are going to make it out of here is the elect. The elect, and then you're going to have the elites of Esau on the left-hand side. So Yahweh Shem Yoshai, he's going to deliver his elect men, the 144,000, and the 1/3, it is the 1/3, the 144,000 and the multitude, that's who's going to get delivered on this side, but then you're going to have the elites that they're going to go into their bunkers, they're going to go into, wherever they're going to be hiding themselves, and they're going to survive the nuclear fire. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 26 and verse 20. And it says, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed." See, that's the elect, getting beamed up. Let's get another precept on that. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 12. And it reads, "And they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud," see, in those chariots, the so-called UFOs. says, and their enemies beheld them. So that's going to be the deliverance, of the elect. Let's go back to the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, and we'll read verse 20 again. And it says, come, my people, and enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. Why, Lord? Verse 21, for behold, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. So the Lord's coming with vengeance and destruction, and he's going to come take down Esau's rulership. All right, let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, and we'll go to verse 20. And it says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. Why? Because of all the missiles, pelting the earth. Especially here in Babylon the Great. It's going to be overkill. Between the missiles and the laser beams from the chariots. It says, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. What's not going to rise again? Esau's rulership. Verse 21 says, and it shall come to pass that in that day that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth and upon the earth. So the high ones, that's talking about the elite. So the elite of Esau, Edom, and then the kings of the earth, which are the leaders of these other nations, the heathen. The Lord's coming to bring punishment and judgment upon them. Verse 22, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. So the Lord's going to gather. He's going to gather these these elites, and these leaders from from these heathen nations, and they're going to be put in chains. And the Lord's going to use He's going to use his elect to do it. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, and verse 16. And it reads, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and they shall fish them. That's talking about what? That's talking about the men of the Lord going out and bringing out this truth, to gather the elect through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It's because the spirit, it's doing the gathering, but the Lord is using his men, to do the fishing, to gather, to wake up the elect, again through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And it says, let me run that back again. It says, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters. And that's going to be the elect. They're going to become the ones that were doing the fishing, the ones that were out preaching, bringing out the truth. Whoever they may be, the elect, they're going to turn into hunters. It says, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. And that's talking about what? That's talking about gathering up, the elite, the kings, the leaders, the heathen leaders of the nations. All right, let's go to the book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 2. Now this is talking about when the Lord was dealing with the northern kingdom, but we can definitely apply it, to Esau, and these heathen kings today, these heathen leaders. This is the book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 2, and it reads, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. So when they go into the underground bunkers, so that though they climb up to the heaven, thence will I bring them down. And they're gonna you got Elon Musk, and these other devils, they're trying to go up into space, because they're trying to escape judgment, but the Lord's still going to be able to get them. They're not going to have nowhere to hide. The angels are going to know exactly where they're at. Verse 3, And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, and Carmel was a mountain in Israel. It says, because why? Because they're going to be hiding in their mountain retreats. It says, I will search and take them out. I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, because they're going to be in those submarines, it says, thence will I command the serpent, and he will bite them. So, and that's going to be what? Leviathan. The Lord is going to use Leviathan, to go to gather these devils out. He's going to gather these devils, wherever they may be hiding, in their underground, their underwater submarines. All right, let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 149, and verse 6. And it says, let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. Verse 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. Verse 8, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. Verse 9, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all the saints. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So these devils, when the destruction comes, they're going to hide themselves, but they're only going to hide themselves for a little bit, because what? The Lord's going to use his men, to gather them, and then they're going to go what? They're going to go into captivity. All right, with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Quadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, from which I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the house of David, doing his work in all righteousness, truth, and sincerity. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.